Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Fiercely Spiritual podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Ray, and I am talking about a topic today that is really exciting. And well, it's exciting for me. I always say to people how things are exciting, and it's like another world for them, especially if they're not into this stuff. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't know how that's exciting, but if you're into personal and spiritual development, if you're into being happier and living the best life that you can, then you're going to find this exciting. And I've no doubt if you're watching this, then you're going to find it exciting as well. So we're going to get into it. We are going to be talking about aligning your vibrational signature. And don't worry, I'll explain what that is. When you master your vibration, when you get into a place where you are able to allow yourself to vibrate at the highest frequency possible, then it opens up space for everything that you want to come into your life. And I just find this so exciting because it just opens up a world of possibility. So we're going to talk all about that. We're going to talk about what vibration is, how to align yourself, why it's so important. And we're going to talk about a few of the techniques that I use and that I teach, just to give you some processes to use to start getting into this state. So first of all, what is vibration? I'm not going to go into quantum physics, don't worry. I'm not going to bore you with the ins and outs of vibration. If you aren't aware of it, I'll give a very brief description. But basically, everything is made up of energy. Everything is made up of atoms and particles. And science has proven that most of the stuff, the physical objects that we see, that we touch, that are around us, are made up of space. That there's more space, there's more distance between the atoms and inside the atoms than there is actual physical matter. I don't even know if there is any physical matter as such, but it's all space. It's all energy that's vibrating at different frequencies. So something that is vibrating at a really high frequency will seem a little bit more fluid than something that is vibrating at a lower frequency, which will seem more dense. So the rock that you find on the side of a mountain is going to be more dense in nature and vibrating at a lower frequency than the water flowing in the stream beside where you're walking. The water is a higher vibrational frequency and it's more fluid and it's lighter. The same with air, with light. Light has a very high frequency. So everything around you has a certain frequency. The table that I'm leaning on at the moment has a certain frequency. The path that you walk on, the furniture that you sit on, everything has a certain frequency. And you're made up of the frequency. And your frequency is unique to you. So you have a unique vibrational signature. And we're going to talk a bit more about that in a moment. But just knowing that you have a unique vibrational signature, you don't need to know what exactly that is or what level that's on. It's different for everyone. You just need to know that you have a unique vibrational signature. And to be in an optimal state, you have to get that frequency up to its optimal level. So we're going to talk a bit more about that. But why is all of this so important, you might ask? What has this got to do with allowing desires to come into your life? What is the correlation? So when you realize that you have a unique vibrational signature, you can also know that you have optimal levels of that signature, but suboptimal levels. So what does that mean? It means that when you're at the optimal levels, you're feeling the greatest joy, the greatest happiness, the greatest peace, the greatest love. You're feeling really, really good. So that's when you're at the optimal level. And there are ranges within these optimal levels. I don't know if we ever reach a highest optimal level because the universe is infinite and unbounded. So I think there's always greater states to attain to. There's always higher and higher frequencies that we can attain to. So just knowing that there's a range of optimal levels that you can be within. And there are also a range of suboptimal levels. So this is when you're feeling low in energy, you're feeling angry or sad or guilty, or you're judging other people, or any other lower frequency emotions that might come up. So there's a range of those. You can be feeling a little bit off, or you have days when you're just feeling really, really bad. Everything's going wrong. So knowing that there's a range of frequencies that you go through throughout a given day, and knowing that you can attain to the optimal frequency for you at a given point in time, you can choose to attain to that. So again, what does that mean? So when you are in the optimal level range, that's when really all the magic starts to happen, you could say. That's when you start attracting things to you that you desire. That's when you become a match for what you desire. But during the day, if you're having a really, really bad day, the optimal frequency that you can reach at that point in time might be a really low level, but it's the highest that you can attain to at that point because you're feeling so bad. If you're feeling really, really good, you can maybe reach a higher level than you've ever reached before. And that's what you're going for. You're going for a vibrational signature that is really high frequency, really aligned with who you are. And ultimately, I suppose you could say that your perfect vibrational signature is held in the heavens, in your higher self. It is the frequency of your higher self, your soul, your spirit. So that's what you're trying to reach for. You're trying to reach for that optimal frequency. And of course, you may never reach that optimal frequency in this lifetime. But if you get even 1/10 of the way towards it, even if you can reach a tiny bit towards it, then you can do so much and you can feel so much better. So your only purpose, your only responsibility in this life is to reach to the highest possible frequency that you can attain, your vibrational signature, your own unique frequency. So that's different for everybody. And somebody who might be suffering from a chronic illness may have a completely different level that they can attain to than somebody who is in the peak of their fitness, in the peak of their vibrancy, in the peak of their health. So knowing that, not judging yourself, because again, when we start to judge, oh, well, I should be able to reach a higher level, or I should be this or that, or I should be different, then we're actually going down to lower levels because we're judging ourselves, and judging is one of the lower frequencies. So always accepting yourself where you're at and knowing that at any point you can reach for a higher frequency. So how do you do this? How do you become a master of your vibration? So there's a few steps to doing this. So first of all, it's knowing that you can control it. Knowing that you have absolute control at all times over your vibration, no matter how it seems, you have the control to be in your optimal vibrational signature. So knowing that you can control it, you take back your power, you take back control, and you don't put blame in other people, in circumstances, events, in your life, the universe. You stop blaming because it's up to you. You have control. Secondly, it's recognizing that when your vibration is out of alignment and what to do about it. So how do you recognize when your vibration is out of alignment? Well, it's quite simple. You recognize it by tuning into your emotions. If you're feeling joy, if you're feeling peace, if you're feeling happiness, if you're feeling those good emotions, there's positive emotions, then you are in a good vibrational alignment. You can always reach higher, but you're in a good place. If you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling worried, anxious, depressed, if you're feeling angry, all of those painful emotions are lower frequencies. So what you want to do is to recognize at any point during the day where you're at, just checking in with yourself. How am I feeling? Am I feeling as good as I can feel, or am I feeling something less than that? And often when I do this, I'll find that I might be in a particular situation or doing something that I'm enjoying, but I'm not enjoying it enough. I realize that I can enjoy it more. I can be more present to what I'm doing. I can be more present to the people around me. And I can be in a higher state of alignment, higher state of gratitude for the thing that I'm doing or the emotions that I'm feeling. Sometimes I might feel, oh yeah, this is like a nice situation, or this is an enjoyable situation. But when I really focus on it, and it can be something really simple, it can be, watching a sunset or drinking a cup of tea. And you might be drinking that cup of tea and thinking, yeah, this is a lovely cup of tea and I'm enjoying it. But when you become aware of how you're feeling, you think, well, how can I feel this emotion of enjoyment more? Can enjoyment become joy? Can it become bliss? Can it become something higher than that? So really checking in on how you're feeling and if you can attain to a higher state. And then the third step is to commit to being in vibrational alignment always. So you might think, well, that's simply not possible because you're going to feel a range of emotions in each day. And it's our emotions that guide us towards what vibration we're in. And this is true. It is so true. But when you commit to being in vibrational alignment, it doesn't mean that you have to be in joy the whole time. It simply means that you're committing to be at the highest vibrational state that you can be, and committing to that always, every day, in every moment. So there may be times when you lack the awareness to do that. There may be times when you let yourself become unconscious and you forget to do it. And there may be times when you just think, I couldn't be bothered. It's just not for me right now. And that's okay, not to judge yourself for that. But when you commit to it, when you commit, okay, I'm going to make this my highest responsibility, then there's no excuse. You don't leave room for excuses. You don't leave room for a get out clause. You commit to it fully, 100%, and you commit to being in vibrational alignment. Now, if that means that when you are feeling angry, you go from feeling angry to a higher vibration, which may just be feeling frustrated rather than full on anger, then that's the best that you can do at that point. And that's okay, because you are trying your best. You know that it's not possible. Well, it is possible, but it's probably not realistic for you to go from anger to happiness in one fell swoop. So you go to the next level that's attainable to you. The optimal level attainable to you might be frustration. And that's better than being in anger. And then when you get into frustration, you might feel, well, the next optimal level for me is a state of not caring and just not really feeling all that much. And then you attain to the next level after that and after that, until you reach that state of joy once again. And if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks, that's what Abraham teaches, to attain to the next level possible for you. And that might be something quite low, but it's better than staying in the anger. It's better than being stuck, because the last place you want to be is stuck. And I know that Gabby Bernstein also teaches that if you fall out of love, it's not about falling out. It's not about being in that state all the time. It's how quickly you return to love. It's the rate at which you can return to love, the speed at which you can get back there. So that's what this is about. It's the speed at which you can get back into vibrational alignment rather than staying stuck in the emotion of anger. And that's what happens with some people when they hold grudges. It could be against somebody who has done something that they feel aggrieved, and they end up holding a grudge. And you can only imagine what holding a grudge will do to your vibrational alignment. So think about it. If you're holding a grudge against another person and your vibrational alignment is out of whack, then the only person you are harming is yourself. You are harming yourself by choosing to remain out of vibrational alignment, by choosing to align with holding that grudge and being in that low vibrational state. And even if you think, oh, well, I might be holding a grudge, but like, I don't always feel that way. I'll feel happy when I'm with my dog, or I'll feel happy when I'm with my kids. But you can't attain to the level of happiness that you could have if you're holding that grudge. So if you let go of that, then you can attain to higher levels of happiness, higher levels of joy than you would if you're holding that grudge. Does that make sense? So knowing that it is your responsibility and your responsibility alone to be the master of your vibration and to get into the highest vibrational alignment that you can. So that's the fourth step, to actively align your frequency. So this can be done by firstly allowing your emotions to flow. So allowing the anger or the sadness or whatever it is to be and to flow through you. A lot of us get caught up in denying emotions or not allowing emotions to be felt. And I teach a technique to help you to allow your emotions to flow through you, because so many people, probably 99% of people, resist their emotions and they don't allow them to flow. And you think that when you have emotional outbursts that you're allowing your emotions out. You're not. Those emotional outbursts are simply emotions that you've been holding inside you that suddenly come out, erupt in an outburst. Now, I could spend the next few hours going into this and teaching about this, and this is something that I teach on my workshops and courses, but I'm not going to go into it in detail now. I might do another podcast about this. I might talk about this in another podcast about emotional intelligence and a technique which I teach, which allows you to feel your emotions and to let your emotions to flow through you. But we're not going to go into it now. For the moment, just knowing that allowing your emotions to flow is part of the process. And then the second thing is to call on your angels, your guides, to help to raise your vibrations. What I like to do is I sit down first of all, and I call on my angels and guides by saying, I call on my divine angelic team of light to be present and to connect with me now. And then I sit and I ask my angels and guides to raise my vibrational signature to the highest available frequency for me, to the optimal frequency for me at this point in time. So that frequency can be different at any given time, but I hand it over and I allow my angels to work away on my energy field, on my vibration, to bring my energy up to its highest available frequency. So my only responsibility here is allowing. It's allowing the angels to do their work, allowing and being open to my frequency being raised. And it's amazing when you do this, how your energy changes, and it's really, really powerful. So it's just a simple invocation, calling in the angels, asking them to raise your frequency, sitting in the energy and being in that state of allowing. And for me, the easiest way to be in that state is to relax the muscles in my body so completely and to relax my energy or my aura. And again, that's something that I'm not going to go into too much now, because I realized over time and over teaching people about their energy that not everybody would have the same level of awareness of their energy flow. Some people are very sensitive, and most of us have a good sensitivity to our energy because we're feeling beings. But I realize that not everybody has the degree of awareness of their energy that maybe I would have, or people who work in energy alignment would have. And through working with Reiki and angel healing and meditation, I suppose I've developed that over time. So just relaxing your muscles is the best way to get into vibrational alignment, and allowing the angels to do the work, and breathing deeply. The breath is so powerful. So breathing deeply and just allowing, and sitting for as long as you like. So I do this for myself, for my own energy. I do it for my family members. I do it for my clients at the end of healings. I'll ask their angels to raise their vibrational frequency. I also do it for rooms that I'm in, for spaces that I'm in, to raise the energy vibration of the room or the house, or it could even be a hotel that I'm going to stay in. And I'll ask the angels to go ahead of me to begin to raise the vibrational frequency of that room that I'm going to be staying in, so that when I arrive, it's already at its optimal frequency. So I don't wait until I get there. I ask the angels to go ahead of me to do it. And you can do this for things in the past, in the future. It's like the angels work outside of space and time. So you can ask for instance, if I'm running events, I'm teaching Reiki level 1 this weekend, I'll ask the angels to go ahead of me and to raise the vibrational frequency of the room in advance, so that when we get there, it's already at its optimal frequency. So you can really have fun and play with this, and knowing that this is key to allowing your desires to come to you, because when you are in a vibrational alignment, you release all restriction, you release all resistance, and you become a vibrational match to the things that you desire. And it's like the floodgates open up and everything starts flowing into your life, because your vibration is a match to all of those things. So if you get your vibration right, then you don't even need to worry about manifesting things or spending time manifesting, because once you can stay in that vibration, then everything will start flowing to you. Now, the key is consistent practice. The key is consistency, awareness. The key is not to give up when you feel that everything is just going wrong, to keep going back to being in the high state that you can be, and to be gentle and loving with yourself in the process. So I hope this has helped you. I hope you've learned something that will really benefit your life in so many ways going forward. And I really hope that you do practice this, because watching this is great, listening to what I'm saying is great, but the transformation comes when you practice this, when you put into practice everything that you've learned. That's when you'll experience the transformation. So I'm looking forward to your feedback. Let me know how you get on, and I will see you next week. And thank you so much for listening and for being here. And I love your comments and your feedback, so keep them coming. Bye-bye.